Hello, my name is Anastasia and today I'm doing a draw with me video and just doodling in my sketchbook. I'll be talking about existential dread and the uncertainty I feel being in my early to mid 20s and having brain fog and all these other things. So if that resonates with you, then keep on watching. So these past couple of days I've been feeling really lethargic and unmotivated. I tend to spend a lot of time alone and I watched way too many horror movies when I was younger, so too much silence kind of bothers me, and so I'll play a lot of YouTube videos and podcasts in the background. I'm starting to realize that really overstimulates my brain and makes me feel very muddled, if that makes sense. So to remedy that, I decided to go outside and go on a walk and try to be in nature. And I also spent some time drawing outside, and I tried recording it, but it didn't really come out right. But another thing that I do when I'm feeling a lot of brain fog and unmotivated when it comes to my artwork is I'll just doodle in my sketchbook and create something that's not going to have any sentimental value to me, that I'm not going to sell, so that I don't feel as much pressure making it. Since I don't feel as much pressure when I'm doodling and the art that I'm making isn't precious to me, I allow myself to experiment more. And so for this drawing session, I decided to just go in with my pen and immediately start drawing and loosely base my drawings off reference images. Because normally when I draw, I'll do a really elaborate sketch and then I'll ink the sketch with a fountain pen. It's weird because I'm feeling lost artistically, but I still feel like drawing, if that makes sense. I want to be creating things, but I'm not sure what I should create or if the things I'm creating will perform successfully in my shop or online. I typically screen print and draw on shirts, but I've been thinking about making some art prints through Printful, which is a print-on-demand service that I use occasionally, and so I'll feel less pressure with how the prints do since there's less of a financial commitment to it. Another thing I've been thinking about doing to get me out of this rut is the 75 hard challenge, but for artists, or creating my own art challenge that caters to the specific things I need to work on. Because on TikTok I used to post these daily videos and then I stopped. It was really hard for me to get back on track because I started to be more lax with myself, and I figured if I don't post as often, it's not going to make a difference. But then I realized over time that it did. When I post more consistently, I get more engagement and eyes on my work and so on and so forth. For the art challenge that I want to do for myself, and I'm thinking about maybe doing a series of videos on this, is drawing every day, getting a new sketchbook and drawing characters in it every day to build up my concept art, because I am really interested in being a visual development artist and being in the beginning stage of the animation pipeline and planning characters and environments. I feel that'd be really fun. I feel when you're in visual development, you get to use your imagination more and be more creative compared to other parts of the animation pipeline. Another aspect of this challenge I'd make for myself is to post twice on TikTok, Monday through Friday, and post more consistently on Instagram. And I've been trying to post consistently on here too, which has been pretty fun because I'm kind of just throwing things out into the void. I don't have a dedicated audience or anything yet, so I feel less pressure about posting on here. One of the main reasons I want to do this challenge, besides the obvious benefits of bettering my art style and building up my online presence as an artist, is to rebuild the relationship I have with myself, because there's been times where I've told myself, okay, I'm going to be really disciplined about this specific thing, and then I'll do that for a certain amount of time and then kind of go back to old habits. So I feel when you make promises to yourself and then you break them, it's kind of hard to trust yourself. And so that's why I want to do this challenge, to rebuild trust in myself and to show myself that, hey, I can actually work hard and do things. But it's complicated because when I'm working for someone else, I can finish tasks and everything, but when it comes to working for myself, it's a bit more complicated. And with the way my brain works, I tend to ruminate things and create different scenarios of the best thing that could happen and the worst case scenario. And that amount of rumination, I'm starting to realize, can prevent me from just acting and instead of thinking and constantly planning. Being in my early 20s, it's hard because there's just so much I don't know, and it's just I'm trying to be I feel like I am on the right track in life, but then it's just hard. It's just hard because you're in the beginning of your career. It's the time for you to work hard but also enjoy being young, and I'm building an identity for myself, but I'm also kind of scared because what if I look back at this time and wish I did things differently? It just feels like a very important stage of life and I don't want to mess it up. So I'm hoping this challenge that I've been thinking about and sharing my work on here and talking and eventually showing my face in front of the camera more often will give me more confidence in myself and push me out of my comfort zone. The other day I was thinking I've been wanting to create a YouTube channel for my art for years, and I finally did it, and I have a couple of videos. I just felt really proud of myself for doing something that I've been wanting to do for so long. I think seeing more physical evidence of the work I've done will help me convince myself that I am disciplined and that I can trust myself and follow through when it comes to things that when it comes to goals that I set for myself. And this kind of goes back to the rumination thing, I'm constantly overthinking and kind of beating up myself, and I've been working on having a more positive mindset lately. But I think it's important to challenge yourself and to think more logically, in the sense that when you're being down on yourself, you can look back at the things that you've done and be like, well, I've actually completed these artworks or made these videos or whatever, so I actually have done things. I think for me, if I complete a challenge and look back at the work that I've done, it'll help silence that nagging voice in my head. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing some type of art challenge, maybe Inktober, but I kind of want to do a very long one, 75 hard challenge. And outside of art, I've been going to the gym and eating more protein, so I might add that to the challenge as well. I'm sharing this because I know that the feelings I have aren't unique, and a lot of people are struggling with things like this, and even worse. If you're in the same stage of life as me, or if you're transitioning careers or just in a very uncertain time, then you're not alone, and I hope that everything works out for you. And I encourage you to have faith in yourself. And also, one thing I try to remind myself of is when I'm thinking negatively about myself, I ask myself, well, would I say that to a friend of mine? And the answer is always no, so be kind to yourself. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Thank you for watching this video if you made it this far. Like and subscribe if you feel inclined to do so, and I'll see you in my next video.